What up? All right. We're going to be doing a race recap, my first half marathon of the year, which I won. And running update and what's next on the docket. That car go by. So rude. Just driving through a neighborhood while I'm trying to record. I'm just kidding. All right. But yeah, so my first half marathon of the year, it went really well. About how I thought it would go. The surprising thing was that I won. Now, I won't bury the lead for you.
Today. How about my 10Kers? How about my half marathoner?
Only one, huh? Only 4 people signed up to run the half marathon that day. And of those 4 people, I was the only one that showed up. So I won. I got both first and last place in the half marathon, which is fine. It's not a big deal. It was a really small local race, and that happens, you know. My next race will be a much bigger one, but yeah, let's talk about it. I went into that race hoping to get about 2 hours and 15 minutes. That's the pace I was kind of looking for, and I came pretty close. You know, I held a good strong pace. You know, I had to stop mid-race and use the facilities, and that put about 10 minutes on my time. So at the end of the day, I did about 2 hours and 20 minutes, but my official time was 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 30 minutes. I'm not upset with that. My first half marathon since I got injured, and you know, I thought I did pretty good. The race was great. The people were great. I felt bad for them. They had to stay there for an extra, hour and a half or whatever, or an extra hour, because I was, on the course by myself. So, God bless them, but, they're the ones who registered people, they expected to stay that late, but I made them work that day, I guess. So, a beautiful course, Eagle Lake Park, absolutely beautiful course. About a third of the course was like maybe a little more than a third, let's just say a third of the course was dirt track, basically dirt path. It was sort of soft, that really helps when it comes to the feet, especially with me and dealing with my injury. And so, like, I absolutely love the trail running vibe. So, as much as I can for the rest of the year, I'm gonna try and focus like where I can. Obviously, trying to do 2 races a month. Most of them won't be trail races. It's not feasible. They're just not there, and the ones that are there, sometimes they're long, so we'll see. But yeah, the race went well. The weather was great. The sun was good. And I performed about how I thought I would. Now, it means I have a long way to go to get back to where I was last year. The last half marathon I ran last year, I did it in 1 hour and 50 minutes, which is, still way closer to what I feel like I should be doing, what I'm capable of. And so, on that note, I'll be really working hard to get back there. And so, yeah, that was the race recap. Went well, beautiful people, great course. I won. Now let's talk about what's new with my running, how that's going. So, I joined a running club, and it may have been the best decision that I've made since I started running, a year ago. Speaking of, I've only been running for a year. So on that note, I think I'm doing really well for only having been like a runner for a year. And I only started running because I thought I would do a triathlon last year in March. So I trained for, the beginning of the year so I could run a 5K at the end of my triathlon, right? It's a sprint distance. And, after that went really well. After that, I thought I'd run a foot race. And so I did my first foot race in April of last year. Hold on, there's a plane. So rude. What are these these pilots? They think they just own the skies. Anyway, so last year in April, I ran my first foot race. It was a 10K at Colt Creek Park. And I remember I finished that 10K in like 52 minutes. And there were also people running a half marathon. And I waited and I saw them all finish. And I could not shake the feeling last year after that race. Like, even just like immediately after the race, I was like, I have so much more I could do, so much more I could give. And I felt unsatisfied. And so I started running half marathons, and I did, I don't know, maybe 7 more throughout the year or whatever. And that's great. And then by the last one, I ran a half marathon in an hour and 50 minutes. Yeah, hour and 50 minutes. And so that was great. But then I got injured because I was like, I'm going to run a marathon. I had like 2 months to 2 or 3 months to get into shape, 2.5 months to get into shape. And so I tried to increase my mileage way too fast, and I hurt myself. So, lesson learned on that one. This time I'm eyeing some races that are like 6 to 10 months out, right? There's a race I'm looking at in 6 months. That is, it's like it's the Octopus Ultra. But I would just do either just the first segment, which is 28 miles. Maybe the first 2 segments, which would be 38 miles. But, that's undecided. I'm tossing that around. It's a trail run. It looks like it'll be fun and just a huge amount of time to accomplish it. So I'm thinking that would be a really fun way to do my first marathon distance, is actually just do it like a mini ultra, 28 mile, and or even further. We'll see. We'll talk about that as the time draws nigh, But joining a running club, fantastic freaking decision. We've been doing speed workouts every Tuesday night and hill runs every Thursday night. The speed workout's like 4 or 5 miles. It's like a mile warm up, mile cool down, and like 3 miles of like high intensity interval runs. And then the hill workout is, 7.5 miles of hill repeats. And not only have I met really great people, it's just been really fun, really great. And I can feel my running improving quickly, even after only a couple of weeks. And then also, the club meets on the weekends that I'm not doing races. And then, I do my long runs. I can do, tomorrow I'm going to do 14 miles, and I'll probably have people to run with for the first 6, but then I'll be on my own, which is fine. It's fine. No worries. I would be on my own either way. So that'll be really great. So running club, tremendous decision. And so starting this month, I'm going to be starting in earnest a training block for doing a marathon and an ultra marathon, which means my goal is to increase my long run by 2 miles a month. And that's not very much. That's very tame. It's very tame. And the reason why it's very tame is because I hurt myself last year, and I don't want to repeat that mistake. So yeah. So and then I'm also fixing to start running about 5 days a week. And basically what I'm doing is right now I've been doing my workouts. I've been doing like chest and core, and then the next day I do back and legs, and that just repeats to infinity, and lines up. I take about an hour and a half to 2 hours to work out. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to dial that back down. I'm going to do just chest one day, just legs, just core, just back, and I'll repeat that cycle. But then having the shorter workout will allow me to go for a quick 2 mile run, like a recovery style jog, just stay here in my neighborhood after those workouts on the days where I don't have the bigger runs. So I should be running 6 days a week, because I think I'll take the day after my long run and not run that day, but we'll see. But my plan is to increase my running quite a bit. All right, now that's my running plan update, loosely. And so now for races coming up, I have 2 scheduled, 2 on the docket. For the 17th of February, it's Howie in the Hills, and that one's supposed to be a pretty massive race. They're expecting 500 participants, and it's a hill race out there by the lakes in Claremont. So that'll be really fun. I'm really excited about that. And, I'm really grateful that I'm doing these hill runs to prepare, because otherwise I'd be in trouble. But my target goal for that one is going to be 2:15 to, I'm going to try and beat the 2:15 pacer, because there's going to be pacers at this race. So I'm going to try and stick with the 2:15 pacer. And then, hopefully I have some fuel left in the last mile to beat him. We'll see. Could be dreaming. But I think I can do it. And then the next week on the 27th, or the 24th, 17th I have Howie in the Hills, and the 24th I have another small local half marathon in Bradenton, which, hopefully I'm not the only person who shows up, but I mean, if I am, it's just another first place, Just another win. Just another win for the win column. But yeah, so those are the races I have planned for this month, and yeah, I'll be taking you guys on both of them. And yeah, so that is my race recap, my what's new with my running schedule, and my races I have planned. And I have races planned for next month and the next month, but let's deal with it 2 at a time, shall we? Because there's no point in telling you what I'm planning in 2 months when I'm doing 2 races a month. So, all right. Hope you like and subscribe. Please, if you've watched this, please stick with me, It's hard to grow a channel. And thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.